Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring the essential oil of caraway. Now caraway is a spiced herb that is well known in Europe. Being native there, it's part of the carrot family and it's been used for centuries. In fact, archaeologists have actually found remnants of food from 8,000 years ago that had caraway seeds in it. Now, still today, in Germany and Scandinavia, caraway will be baked into bread to flavour it, as well as used in sauerkrauts and cheeses and so on to give this beautiful flavour. Now, there's a bit of controversy on where the essential oil actually comes from. Some references will say it comes from a seed, and some will say it comes from the dried fruit with the seed within it. But we get this beautiful essential oil that has so many amazing properties, and we're going to explore them in this video. How you can use caraway essential oil to benefit your body, your mind, and your spirit. The spice of caraway has been used for centuries to flavour food, but it's also been used medicinally. We can now work with the essential oil to benefit us in many different ways. Now, if you've got a therapeutic grade essential oil, then you can actually use that to flavour your breads and cheeses and sauerkrauts. That would be delicious. But that's not just going to be good for the taste buds, it's actually going to be really good for the entire digestive system. In fact, caraway has a historical use of whenever you're feeling a little bit gassy or bloated or you not quite right or eating something a little bit funny, then this is where caraway's essential oil is really great. Having it in the food will be beneficial, or just getting it with a caraway oil and rubbing it on the belly in a clockwise direction can be really beneficial as well. Whether you have ongoing digestive issues or whether you've just tried something new and it's not quite agreeing with you, then caraway can be really good. Caraway can also be really good for oral health, I find. And I'm going to give you a little tip, and it's going to have a magical application later on as well. But you can pop a drop of caraway essential oil on with your toothpaste and brush your teeth. That's going to do your mouth some heavenly good. But later on, I'm going to teach you a little secret on how else that may also be beneficial. So basically, caraway, think of the digestive system and digestive health. When you want to make sure that your digestive system is at its best, incorporating caraway into your weekly health routine can be really beneficial. Caraway can really help with some deep emotional healing as well. It has a nice kind of centering aroma, and it can just be nice in a diffuser just to kind of help you feel a bit more content throughout the day, and maybe just to help you digest life a little bit more, just like it does with your food. Think about when we're nervous or uncertain or worried, then we find our stomach gets a bit in knots. Caraway can be really comforting in this way. But it also can be really quite potently healing for those that have had an unstable childhood. Maybe there was a lot of problems with you and your parents. Maybe your parents had addictions or something like that. Maybe you were fostered or adopted. And from this, you kind of feel that, childhood was rocky. And what you've noticed as you get into adulthood is that whenever things seem to be going well, you start to get suspicious. And you may even have a tendency to sabotage relationships when they are going well to replicate what you're used to in your childhood. If you find that you're still sabotaging and having problems with relationships when you're older, try working with try working with caraway. Caraway really helps you to work into those issues of, okay, why when everything's going well, do I have this need to feel uneasy, to feel a bit fickle, to kind of go run hot and cold and that type of thing? In fact, caraway is perfect for anyone who in relationships does run hot and cold. It allows us to work out why we're doing that and get a bit more clarity on what we actually do want so that we can be a bit more reliable. So if you're looking for stability in your relationships, then caraway is going to be one to help you get to the root or the seed or the origin of what that kind of issue is and how you can move beyond that. Not only does caraway have a long history of being used for culinary reasons and medicinal reasons, but it also has a long magical history. Let me share some of the great spiritual ways you can work with caraway essential oil. The gift that caraway gives us is consecration. Now, you may not be familiar with that word, but basically when we consecrate something, it means to bless and protect. Now, we can consecrate a valuable item, something that is important to us, like maybe a magical tool. Sometimes people will consecrate their wands or their athamas or that type of thing. We can consecrate our home, we can consecrate ourselves, or we can consecrate a loved one. So how would we do this with our caraway essential oil? Well, One thing, it's said to prevent theft of things that are valuable. So get your Caraway essential oil and put a drop in either your purse, your wallet, or your handbag to stop things being stolen. You can also protect your home and the valuables within it by diffusing Caraway essential oil or putting it in a little spritz bottle with some pure water from either the ocean, rain, lakes, rivers, anything that's pure water, and spritz that around, especially near your front door. It also is really good for when you're having bouts of bad luck. You don't want it to kind of spiral out of control. Caraway can stop that. So if you're having a bit of a bad day, jump in the bath and put some Caraway in there and wash away all that bad luck really, really quickly. In fact, it's said that if the fairies or the gnomes are playing little tricks on you and trying to trip you up along the way, Caraway will tell them to shoo off and leave you alone. So if you are trying to connect with fairies and gnomes a lot more, then Caraway may not be the best essential oil for you. Now, remember before I was talking about Caraway and fickleness? Well, Caraway is a love herb and it helps to actually bring love into our lives. Remember how I was talking about brushing our teeth with Caraway? Well, after you've had Caraway in your mouth, kissing your lover will help to consummate that love and seal the love between two people. If you are trying to bring more balance into your relationship or wanting to attract love into your life, throughout the day, as many times as you can, whenever you get some quiet time to yourself, pop a drop of Caraway in your hands and take 10 deep breaths in and out. As you breathe in the feeling of love that you want to experience, and as you breathe out, share that loving experience in an even flow, because a perfect relationship has even give and take. And this can help to attract love throughout time. Again, if there is any fickleness in the relationship, using Caraway can help to get to the base of this problem and find out why that's happening and help us to get a bit more clarity and a bit more truthfulness as well. You can also use Caraway to protect yourself when you're using it, when you're doing anything magical or doing any meditations. Spritzing or diffusing or anointing yourself in Caraway can be really quite potent and powerful as well. If you are worried about someone else in your house as well, spritzing them can also do the same trick. Now, Caraway not only blesses and consecrates and protects those people and those possessions that we love, but it can be used for other things as well. One thing I really love it for is dream recall. Now, do you dream but you can't remember what your dreams are, or you'd like to remember more? Get into the habit of keeping your Caraway by your bedside table. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, I want you to grab a journal and write down whatever you can remember. Now, even if you can only remember something about your grandmother, or I remember feeling happy, or something about cars, and just write that down before the logical mind comes in. Of course, the dreams shows us what those lower conscious levels are kind of trying to tell us, and then the logical mind jumps in. If we can kind of write that out before we start thinking about what we're doing for the day and all those stresses, then you'll find as time goes on, you'll remember more and more of your dreams. And Caraway just kind of helps to prompt that as well. Diffusing it during the night or putting it on your feet could be worth a try as well to try and make your dreams more vivid. So Caraway is an amazing essential oil to consecrate, to protect, to bless, and help us to even up our relationships. So many different magical purposes, and it's been used for many of these for many, many centuries. When it comes to the chakras, I find Caraway has a really unique effect on our sacral chakra. What it helps to do is it helps to guard that. Now, remember how we were talking before about Caraway being really good for protecting those things that are valuable to us, those that we love and those that are close to us. Well, our sacral chakra is about things that are close to us. It's our energy center of intimacy. So what it helps with is when we are dear to someone, it helps to protect that relationship. It helps guard against intrusion of other parties coming into that relationship. It guards against fickleness. It guards against us or someone else sabotaging that relationship because of things that have happened in the past, and finding a bit more stability. We can also grow rather close to, some of our special possessions, and they're important to us as well. This oil helps to protect them and our loved ones, not only our partner, but our children and our brothers and sisters, our parents and that kind of thing. Caraway guards everything that we hold sacred to ourselves. So when you are worried and feel unstable in the center and find that you're worried about losing that which is dear to you, then Caraway is really quite potent. Pop it in a diffuser, breathe it in and see everything being enshrouded in a white protective ball of light protecting it, or just, feel it on that sacral chakra, bringing that into balance and knowing that all is well, and let go of any attachment, unhealthy attachment where you start to freak out or get too worried in case you lose something. Caraway assures you that all that's meant to be in your life will stay in your life as long as you honor it. And that which is meant to leave will be free to leave as well. Caraway is really, really potent in this way and can be really good for healing any uncertainty or insecurities that arise around intimacy or the sacral chakra. Caraway has a reputation for being really great to blend with certain essential oils. Ones such as chamomile, basil, coriander seed, orange can be really nice and create some really quite uplifting blends. Even a bit of lavender at night can make a nice kind of soothing one. Now, one I love to blend caraway with is frankincense. Frankincense is also really good at cleansing away unwanted energy and consecrating or protecting things as well. So if you're looking for a really spiritual duet, try caraway and frankincense together. Now, you can also work with other digestive oils that are going to help with the digestive system health we were talking about before. Coriander seeds going to be great, peppermint's going to be great, ginger, star anise would be absolutely amazing, dill would be good. Any of those would be really good, and rub them onto the belly. If you've got young children, maybe try lime or green mandarin. Now, this also working with the sacral chakra would be really good with other sacral chakra oils. So I'd be looking at some of your orange citruses like orange, tangerine, clementine, and grapefruit, and maybe even your more pleasurable kind of ones such as cassia would be really good, cinnamon would be really good, or vanilla would be a really nice blend as well. Play around with them, and if you have a really nice blend, I'd love to hear about it. Leave your comment in the section below. To make the most out of your caraway essential oil, bring in other gifts of nature to guide you and support you. Now, the crystal that I love to work with when I'm working with caraway is petalite. Now, it may just look like a kind of a boring plain white crystal. I've got another one here on my pendant here, but petalite helps to enshroud you and all that you love with white protective light. It is the crystal of loving protective light. So we've been talking about guarding everything that's valuable to us throughout this video. Wearing this crystal or gifting this crystal to someone who's important to you or placing it near a valuable possession will help to protect it in that way. So pair the two together. Now, you can also call on animal guides to bring you different wisdom on how you can thrive in this world. The animal that I call upon when I'm working with caraway is the llama. Now, you may be going, why llamas and even alpacas as well? Well, although they're quite gentle animals, they can also be very protective, guarding what they love and what they hold dear to them. So they can teach you how to be caring, loving, open, but also very powerful and very protective of that which is important to you. Astrologically, caraway is associated with Mercury. So the best day to work with your caraway is Wednesday because Mercury rules Wednesday. The star sign that it's associated with mostly is Gemini, and having that kind of that playful mind and not letting things bug you too much. You know, it's really good for controlling that, that fickle mind that can happen if we're not balanced in our intellectual sense, which is ruled by that Mercury and Gemini kind of energy. Now, remember when it comes to essential oils, they're not all the same. In fact, anywhere between 75 and 90% of all the oils on the market are not what they state to be on the label. So you want to make sure when you're choosing your essential oil that you get a pure therapeutic grade one that you can trust and you know where it's actually from. Possibly, if it's been tested by a third party, that's great. And if you know that that company gives back to the people, the harvesters and the farmers, instead of exploiting them, then that can be really beneficial as well. If you'd like to know more about how to source top grade essential oils, please feel free to contact me. My details are just below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.